all agree that Pokemon has changed. May this be for the good or the bad. But we can all admit that the Nintendo Switch 2 is there to save the day when it comes to Pokemon and changing the way that we look at it. We can already start to see it from Pokemon Legends ZA. If you played the Pokemon Legends ZA demo in Pokemon Worlds or even in Gamescom, you might notice that this game actually looks a significantly different than we saw in the trailer for the Nintendo Switch. Now, of course, you really have to be there for first-person hand, but even if you weren't, you can see the camera quality or even where you were getting this information from, that it's clear that this is getting some improvement. But not only that, recently I decided to jump back into Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, not only for getting shiny Pokemon, but also just to replay the game and sort of catch every single Pokemon from my previous save file. Because honestly, I think that catching Pokemon and just completing the Pokedex is a really fun way to replay Pokemon in a way. Now, of course, I didn't want to go through the entire story once again, so I just picked up an old save file that I did not complete the Pokedex on and just started playing. And on the Nintendo Switch 2, let me say, this game looks amazing. Now, maybe not for the graphic enhancements, it definitely doesn't change that much, but for the FPS that you get and also the Pokemon, it feels like you're playing in a living, breathing world once again. Now, if you look back on the Nintendo Switch playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you might remember that you needed either a sandwich or you needed something to make Pokemon appear more. You were kind of just walking around, you saw one Pokemon here, another Pokemon so often. Maybe there was a slight Pokemon like really close to each other, but it wasn't at the fullest extent. Now on the Nintendo Switch 2, may I tell ya, it's pretty great. Now, you probably already seen a lot of this, and this might be old news to you. You're already playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on the Nintendo Switch 2, and that right there is fantastic. Congratulations. I hope that you caught a bunch of shinies. But the way that I think Nintendo is looking at Pokemon, or the Pokemon company is looking at whole, and how the Nintendo Switch 2 will change it, I think that for Pokemon Generation 10, not only could the game potentially look even better, and it's going to be taking place on the sideways, so group of islands and stuff like that, but they don't really have to put a whole bunch of buildings and things. They can specifically work on the trees, make them look very nice. Like that was a big critic back in the day, or not even back in the day, like 5 years ago, which is pretty much back in the day, for Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, you might remember this. Oh, the trees look so bad. What in the world is this? It looks like some sort of cloud barfed all over the map. Now, I see that there was some problems with the tree, but if Pokemon themselves can, clean up the trees, make them look really nice, also have the ocean look nice and beautiful, relaxed with the waves kind of like, bouncing, and it's really nice. They can add Pokemon all around, so it makes the world feel a living, breathing creature. Not a creature, but like a living, breathing world. You know what I'm saying? Overall, it's really, really exciting because now we can finally start to see the shift in Pokemon. We've always wanted to see a Pokemon that kind of looked like Ash Ketchum's journey when he went to all the way to Galar, from Kanto all the way to Galar. The journey that had Pokemon across the wazoo, which was really, really great, and I hope that we see something like this for the next Pokemon. Generation 10 overall is looking really great. There's a lot of leaks that point towards Greek mythology, so Greek mythology with a living, breathing world, don't you think that this would change it? Now, back to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I think that they definitely improved it in multiple different ways. Now, of course, it might not be to the full extent that you really wanted to see because, hey, I want to see some beautiful art style, looks like realistic graphics, and also some high FPS, 240 frames per second. That's how I want to play Pokemon. It's definitely not going to be like that. Hold your horses. You're probably not ever going to see something like that unless you're playing in the future in 2099. But overall, it's something very exciting to see that finally we can see the Pokemon game that we always wanted. The way to play Pokemon, it will finally return in a new light. Maybe in a light that reimagines Pokemon in different ways. Could there be different balls? Could there be different unique capture mechanics? Because Pokemon has definitely changed because of Legends ZA has definitely took a step up. Now, may you not like the way that you battle or catch or whatever the case may be. I'm sure that they're probably not going to fully go that route. But if we're looking more at Pokemon as a creature catching game and a more of an exploration game instead of battling, now that we're getting Pokemon Champions, you might scratch your head and wonder, okay, so are we going to be seeing the replacement of the standalone, battling, clicking one button and you're done? It might be a possibility. It might be the time that they start to shift things over. Now, there could be a possibility that you can have an option to do turn-based battles and have the kind of being able to go anywhere you want style of battling. There's always a possibility of that, but it looks like right now we don't really see, but depending on how Pokemon Legends ZA sort of battling works, there's probably a big possibility that we will see something start to shift. Something that's going to be either very, very creative or something that's just going to be like pretty much Legends ZA or just clicking one button. But overall, it's looking to be pretty good. I'm really liking the way that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet looks right now. Maybe not so much the graphics, but the Pokemon. The sheer amount of Pokemon that you can collect is crazy town, and especially once you get the shiny charm. Now, I haven't actually tried it on my main save file because I'm pretty sure that is stuck on Nintendo Switch that I didn't want to update. So yeah, it's stuck there, but I have tested it and on the Nintendo Switch too, and let me tell you, you're getting at least 10 times more Pokemon. Even in Area 0, where your game was chugging along like crazy, it still looks really, really great and a lot of Pokemon there. Even putting encounter plus sandwiches with shiny power, you can get shiny Pokemon like so fast. You might not say that this is the best thing in the world, getting shiny Pokemon left and right, but for those of you who like to collect and try to get in a complete national Pokedex of shiny, well, you got some good news. Go get yourself a Pokemon Scarlet and Violet shiny charm, and there you go. Start hunting, because it's probably the best way to get shiny Pokemon ever. Now, if you've been pretty much going along with Pokemon, okay, so I gotta go and catch Pokemon, okay, all in Kanto, gotta go and play Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, get all my Kanto Pokemons, gotta go and also play Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, get all those Pokemon, whatever the case may be. Well, I mean, hey, there's different options to play Pokemon, there's different options to get shinies, there's different options. Overall, I think that this is definitely going to change the way that we play Pokemon forever. The Nintendo Switch 2 is here and is definitely brought a lot of power with it and different ways to innovate in this Pokemon series, innovate inside this game in a way. Instead of just staying to the casual, well, I'm gonna go and catch my starter, click one button, do a tutorial for 2 hours, and also sit down because I'm so bored of learning about how I play a game that's been out for 30 years. You can finally start to see, okay, so I immediately get put into the tutorial. Tutorial's done 5 minutes. Okay, I'm ready to catch. Now, I know that this game is pretty much made for children, but that doesn't excuse that they could easily implement a feature that's like, okay, so if you want to skip tutorial, you can click skip tutorial, and there you go. Bada bing, bada boom. You are into Pokemon World Adventures, and you can finally experience the way that Ash Ketchum has gone on his beautiful multiple adventures. Don't you think that that would be really cool? And I think that it's a big possibility that we could finally see that cross regions in some sort of Pokemon way. Overall, what do you think about this? Do you think that Nintendo Switch 2 has definitely changed the way you play Pokemon? Or do you think it's still the same Pokemon game? Come on, it's still the same. Scarlet and Violet still is like, I play it a bit, but like Pokemon are just going all over the place, flailing their arms and spawning right in front of me. I don't like that. So I'm going back to the trees. The trees that look like the sky barfed on the trees. But also, we can say that those trees could be beautiful trees now because it definitely changed on the Nintendo Switch 2. If you don't believe me, go check it out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed. Have no idea where the heck this video went. It started off of me just explaining my excitements for the future of Pokemon. And then we kind of spiraled into chaos, saying, you know what, Pokemon barf trees, and also we're gonna be seeing Generation 10 Island Adventure, Ash Ketchum, and everything else. Thanks so much for watching. Hope that you agree with my fantastic opinions. They are so good. If you like any other videos, consider to watch this one right here. This is where I go over every single Pokemon game. I rank them from worst to best. Go check it out. I bet you'll love it. You'll love it, especially if you like this one. It takes it more serious. On this channel, if you subscribe, there's a lot of different methods of videos. We got the weird Nintendo videos. We got the actual news and games that are coming out soon. And then we got straight up theories. Anyways, see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day, by the way.